One of the most common questions at this time of the year is when do you verticut, how do you verticut, and what kind of machine do you use? I brought out the Ryan Verticut this morning. This is a Renathin. A lot of the stores will often tell you to use a dethatcher. This is very different than a dethatcher. A verticutter's got vertical blades that dig into the grass, chop up the stolons, and give your grass additional growing points. How do you know when to use it? If you have a non-overseeded grass, very thick and dense, as you can see here, the fertilizer and water have trouble getting into the ground. What this does is it goes through, uses the knives, it's going to open the grass plant up and give you additional growing points. So I'm going to give you a little demonstration of this machine today. You're going to set it about half the depth. You are going to take a lot of grass off, so don't be alarmed by that. But what it does is, again, it opens up the grass plant and gets you ready to go and allows you to mow the grass a little bit lower, use less fertilizer, and use less water in the meantime. The handle right here on the Verticut adjusts your setting height. What we're going to do is set it about halfway. So you're just going to kind of loosen this handle here, slide it back a little bit, and as you can see on the side, it raises the wheel height up a little bit. And when you're about halfway, you're going to lock the setting down. Just spin this back, and you're ready to go. Now, if you think once you get going, you're starting to take off too much grass, you're just going to adjust that setting and raise it up a little more. You never want to dig down into the roots and pull anything up like that. You're just trying to open up the grass plant on the surface. The initial setting that I put the Verticut at, it's a little bit tall. We're still taking a little bit of the leaf blade tissue off here. Not enough. Still need to definitely open up the plant a lot more. If you got bobsod, paspalum, tifway, any of the tighter, dense grasses, you do need to get in there and definitely verticut a little more. So I'm going to drop the height just a little bit. You're going to kind of, like I said, have to play with the height and just adjust it as needed. Just completed a twice over verticutting, did it in a couple directions. As you can see, as we go down to the grass here, ton of material that just came off. Basically, if you are ever looking to put stolons in your yard, this is what the stolons are. We chop up the grass like this, and you're going to spread them out over the surface, and you are able to grow them in like that. Again, the nice advantage of the Verticut, look how well the grass got opened up. Just like when you're overseeding, you're not going to go down as far, but you're opening up the grass, giving it additional growing points, and allowing the fertilizer and water to get into the blade. Now, after we finish this, we're going to go ahead and just use the lawnmower, pick this up. I'm going to run the Verticut one additional direction, and then mow it up again, and it'll be all set. That'll allow me to keep my mowing heights down a little bit lower for the summertime, and also to use less water. If you guys still have an overseeded lawn, one of the things you're going to start to see here as the temperatures increase and the humidity picks up, that ryegrass is going to start to die in between the Bermuda grass blades. Now, we got to get it out of there somehow. The best way to do that is by verticutting. Again, don't rent a dethatcher, rent a Verticut. Usually use a Renathin. If not, you can always rent or buy one of these rakes from one of your hardware supply stores. There's a lot of work to use one of the rakes. Definitely much easier to rent a Verticut for about 50 to 60 bucks for the whole day. Verticutting your overseeded lawn at this time of the year is going to help eliminate most of that ryegrass, get that Bermuda grass additional growing points for you, and also get it growing, get you a nice full dense lawn here before we start scalping down again in the fall. Now, once you go ahead and run the Verticut through this, keep in mind that you are going to have to increase your water. You're going to want to water once a day for about the next week and a half, because you are going to eliminate a lot of the moisture that's in the turf canopy. So I just finished verticutting the lawn, mowed it up a couple of times. As you can see, I took off quite a bit of material, still trying to get that ryegrass out from in between the Bermuda grass and get it going. After I get it mowed a couple times, I'll go back with one last Verticut, one last mow, and then I'm going to come with a 777 of the soil burst, followed by a 406 of the soil burst. It's going to try to help out the root system and then get a balanced fertilizer in there at the same time. Once that ryegrass is out, that Bermuda is going to have a place to go, so is the paspalum, and it'll start to fill in those areas for you. So the fertilizer is very important, watering for the next week is very important, and again, just keeping that ryegrass out and keeping the competition away from the Bermuda grass is extremely important. If you want to know just how much material is taken off, just kind of take a look around my lawn here. I did avoid the area under the tree a little bit just because that ryegrass I'm going to have to hold on to a little bit longer than some of the other areas because it is tough to grow Bermuda grass in. But you can see quite a bit of material here. Once you mow it up, there's a ton of green tissue underneath there, and it's ready to grow. After you get the lawn nice and watered in, We're going to go ahead and put the soil burst down. Again, I'm going to use the 777, get a balanced fertilizer on this grass. This goes down at 1.25 quarts per 1,000 square feet. And I'm also going to put down a 4006 to help the root system out. We are kind of going into a stress period now in the summertime, so it is a great time to use this product. Again, if you got the 406, I like it in the summertime and late in the fall. The 777 can be used any month throughout the year, but it'll also help boost your grass anytime. Just kind of taking a look at the post verticut, and got about 15 minutes of water on this grass here. So once this is down, then I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to come back with the fertilizer and we'll be all set and ready to go. And I'll continue to water once a day for about the next week. And then after that, I'm going to cut my watering back to every other day, followed by every 2 to 3 days throughout the summer.